it's Reese and welcome back to my channel. This week I've got a Vourly plan with me featuring Pretty on Paper Co.'s Santa's Big Night kit, and this is the Instagram picture they posted that inspired me to purchase this kit. I love that it's a huge scene. Originally it was going to be on the following week, but if you watched my video about undo, you'll know that it leaves a sticky residue on the pages, and I was covering it up with some wax paper, but having the paper clips and the wax paper there was just driving me crazy. So I flip-flopped the spreads that I was going to use for these 2 weeks just so I could just make things easier for myself. I'm starting off by covering up the black date bar with some whiteout. And I do this for 2 reasons. Generally, if I'm using a kit that has date covers, I like to sticker all the way to the top of my page. And because all of these kits are formulated for the Erin Condren hourly, the vertical, there's going to be a little bit of a space between all of the full boxes, and I don't want that black bar peeking through. And in other kits that have a lighter washi, sometimes you also get that shadow. So I'm covering that so that nothing is peeking through, and when you're looking at everything, it's just not going to show. I flip back and forth because I was trying to show some of the reasons why I love using the hourly. Generally, I like to do a combination of that no white space vertical, completely covered in sticker look that you would normally get with a vertical, but most of the time I do need the functionality of the hourly, especially in the afternoons. So my style is Vourly. It's a combination of both. This week is going to be a little bit more on the no white space side than usual. You'll see me flipping back and forth to a Gilmore Girls spread the previous week for 2 reasons. One, it is more of a typical Vourly where the bottom half is more white space friendly and the top is completely covered. But I'm also flipping back to it because it's from the same sticker shop, and so I'm using it to help me figure out my spacing. Up next, I am doing my glitter headers, which I usually layer my weather stickers over, and my date covers, and my Christmas countdown stickers by Glam Planner. And I flip my planner upside down because it's easier to line things up and make sure they're straight. I know for sure that the washi is straight, and so I'm just butting up the tops of the glitter stickers to the bottom of the washi and laying them down. It ensures everything else ends up being straight too, and I just build upwards or downwards depending on how you're looking at it. Now these Glam Planner stickers originally were on this page that I undid, and I laid them back down on their original sticker sheets, but I found when I was taking them up this time that there is some overlap, some of that excess sticker paper that got stuck underneath, so I'm just picking little bits of that off. If you ever do use undo, be very careful to stick it on a sticker sheet that doesn't have any extra sticker paper around it. Now usually on my Vourlys, I like to cover all the way up until about 3 o'clock with stickers, but because my full boxes are up at the top, I'm already covered down to about 1 o'clock. So I'm figuring out where I'm going to put my full box checklists, because as it is, I'm going to be doing it all the way down to about 5 o'clock. In hindsight, I should have put the glitter header, then the date cover, then the heart checklists, and layered my countdowns on top of the checklists, because you'll see later on I'm going to end up covering up the bottom parts of most of those checklist boxes. I generally like to have a cleaner line in between the two, and this week I'm not going to end up with that, but I still like the way the spread turns out altogether. I'm not going to put a checklist down for Sunday because that tends to be our lazy day. We go to church, we watch football, and we just hang out. So I like to cover that with a full box. Now onto the sidebar. I generally put down my work schedule and a couple other things, but as you know, different sticker shops offer different sidebar elements in their kits, and even within the same shop, different kits come with different elements. The Gilmore Girls kit the previous week that I keep flipping back to is from the same company, but it offers different sidebar elements. There's only 3 weekly habit trackers in this one compared to 4 in the previous one, so I have to do some adjusting. So I'm leaving a box available for my work schedule. I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I do watch other people's children, and I generally just write down the initials of the children I'm expecting to watch in any particular week. I also laid down some washi and a little laptop deco sticker that came with the kit to mark my fantasy football stats. We are hardcore into fantasy football and football in general, so I like to track how I did in any particular week. Because I'm out of sidebar elements, I'm going to fill up this bottom section with some strips of washi and with some deco. I really wanted to use some of those reindeer, but I think they're a little bit too tall. I like to use half boxes to block off different appointments and things that we are always going to be doing. And I'm going to be going into the checklist space just because I don't have 7 things for each day that I need to do. Most of what I do is routine, and I just write down the non-routine things on my daily to-do lists. So I'm going to be covering up most of those as much as possible. Again, it's not the clean line that I like to have in between the 2 spaces, but it's going to work for me this week. I like to use these little munchkins on a laptop to denote my weekly FaceTime date with my mom, because we live in California and she's in Colorado. We like to FaceTime every week so that she can see the kids and we can talk to her. I'm using these kawaii sports balls by Vourly Plans to mark all of my husband's activities. Normally he's very, very busy, but this week we just have basketball. The little Boy Scout and his flag are by Planner Penny, and I like to use the same shop characters for every little thing he does. So my football and soccer stickers for when he's in that season are also by Planner Penny, so it's the same little boy character all throughout the year. The little ballerina is by Sweet Paper Company, and that's for my daughter's class. That sticker sheet also came with some little pink flags that say dance class, but I ran out of those. I'm also using some quarter boxes to mark the football games that we're going to be watching, and that is also a printable. I'm a big fan of printables in general because you can use them so much. I also normally use my weekly kits that are printables because I can print 2 of the pages that have the full boxes so that I can go all the way across the week and then completely cover Saturday and Sunday. I've already put down my family time and church flag stickers by Paper Loving Mommy. Those are my weekly staples. I put down a half box on Wednesday because I'm going to be doing some sort of YouTube activity. I just don't know what yet, so I'm leaving it blank. And I'm putting down my trash sticker for Thursday. I'm running into a little bit of issue because I generally put my functional deco over the full boxes, but because it's a big scene across the top, I don't want to have a random trash bag floating up underneath the reindeer, so I'm having to make it work. And I'm running into the same issue with paydays. I use the kawaii money stacks to mark my paydays, and then the payday flag stickers to mark my husband's paydays. This week it's just my paydays, so I'm using the payday flags that came with the kit, and I used my X-Acto knife to help me place it because that way my fingers aren't in the way. I'm going to end up moving that later though. I also used a to-buy header to split up my to-do list on Friday because we don't have anything major going on Friday, but I do generally run errands that day. I'm using my little TV littles to mark the football games that we're going to watch on Sunday. I also have a bill due that day, so I'm going to use a bill due sticker, and I'm going to use a littles for the meals. On Sunday nights we always go to my mother-in-law's house and have a big family dinner, so I'm going to use that, and then another TV little to show my Sunday night football plans. I usually cover all of Saturday and Sunday with some sort of sticker, generally full boxes, but that's really only when I'm using a printable kit, because then I can have full boxes go all the way across the week and all day Saturday and Sunday. But this is a pre-cut kit, so I'm having to adjust and use littles and half boxes and things that are available to give me that full coverage look that I like on the weekends. And I'm flipping back because I use my monthly to track movies that are coming out, but I don't see any movies that are coming out that particular weekend. That weekend is going to be a birthday for one of my nieces. We don't know their particular plans yet, so I'm going to leave that spot blank. We're probably going to have some sort of date night on Friday, so I'm putting down the gold box, but again, because it's so far away, I don't know what we're doing, and I'm leaving it mostly blank. And we're probably going to eat before we do whatever we're doing, so you'll see when I post the full final picture that I've moved some stuff around, like moving the payday banner up to the top. I do have a lot of usable leftovers. The only headers I really used were the todays, so I still have my to-dos as well as heart checklist strips that line up perfectly with the hourly. One of the great things I love about using Pretty on Paper Company. I'm filling in with some more of my functional deco. I love using my little Monas, and I didn't put her on camera, but you'll see her in my final. Deciding what pens to use. I really wanted to use the white jelly roll, but I don't think it's going to show up with the gold glitter, and I don't like mixing pens, so I'm going with a black Le Pen. It looks a little bit thin though, so I am going to go over it later with some of my extra fine black Sharpies, just to thicken up the lines, especially on the date covers. Some of the items I'm going to leave blank, not because I don't know what I'm doing that day, but because I'm worried that I might move things around. Like with the plan sticker, I might repurpose that, and I don't want to waste that half box by writing on it too soon. So I'm only writing down things that for sure are happening. Now the last thing I need to do is put the corner flags on, and I'm using these mini glitter flags by Miss Sabine Elise, also a printable. I love that so many colors are available through her shop. She also has great glitter covers, or not glitter covers, glitter headers that I use, but I already had some that were pre-cut and left over from another kit that I used this particular week. You'll see that they are a little bit too long for the page, so I'm going to put them down, and then I'm going to put the two pages together and snip off the ends. This also helps cover up that excess whiteout, especially once those edges are covered. You really aren't paying attention to any whiteout that is still exposed because your eye is drawn to the color. And here is the finished spread. You'll see I did move a couple things around, and that little Santa hat on top of Mona on Monday is just perfect for her head. If you want to see how I change it day to day and what I add, feel free to follow me on @ReesePlans at Instagram. and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.